person, right? Didn't we have another person?
We have several potential people. So.
Well, if you just want to
Okay,
ask us
come
or
with you.
someone else has
No,
something
it's fine.
more
Come with
pressing.
you. Come with you. Oh, it's this each.
Take off the magnets. Now that we can officially use magnets here. Not that I ever used them before.
No. You just bought them yesterday, right?
Did they help you?
Everything helps a little, but
What's the story with you?
the story is, I'd love to say I had, was flipping over on my skateboard or rock climbing, but about 3 months ago I took a bike ride on the same bike I've been riding on a flat surface, and I got condylomalacia, the knee track. The kneecap isn't tracking. Oh, it's tracking to the left, laterally. Incredible pain. I just, I can just sort of move like this even, and I'll get pain. I might just move like, you sitting
Okay,
home, you
just-
just move
yeah.
like a little bit, and I'll get pain that just stops me cold. And so now I've been kind of favoring the right leg, so I've thrown my hip off limb. And I also have a history of melanoma. When I was on my lower abdomen, when I was 23, which I think was connected to birth control pills. That's why I asked you, because I found several women that in my age group that had high doses of hormones at that time. But this
How
has
did you call it before?
condylomalacia.
No.
Oh,
She has a special medical name for the syndrome. Never mind. All right.
I said it was from compulsive heterosexuality because if I had a lover at the time, I'd be on the pill, and if I didn't, so I think that messed me up because I wasn't just like straight on the hormones. I was off and on them. It was the 70s.
That explains everything.
I wasn't born then. What do I was born there, don't worry. I was old enough. All right.
When I also asked Avi if having a belly button ring affected his heart diagnosis.
I don't mind. I don't think I wouldn't recommend it to anyone, but I don't treat it especially unless there's pain on the place. Anything else besides melanoma as far as history?
I had my tonsils out in kindergarten, but I very rarely get respiratory colds or anything. I was just recently, the last 7 years, living in a house with a lot of mold, and I think it's really messed up my concentration. Probably I have ADD too, it's hard to know which. Probably low thyroid, cold, usually, I think I'm starting to be in the perimenopause because I'm actually warm in this room, but generally, before this year I'd be sitting with sweaters on and, in general. And I have a sugar addiction and coffee addiction. Coffee addiction is recent, sugar is chronic, and diabetes in the family.
Oh. But you do sugar anyway.
Yeah, I do it anyway.
Oh, okay.
And if I had to choose, I'd probably eat bread over sugar. Over,
Over anything
if I had to
else.
choose.
Bread and butter sort of thing as opposed
Yeah.
to, or bread
Yeah.
and jam or
Yeah,
something as opposed
pasta,
to. Yeah.
love the carbs. So I try to avoid them, but not always successfully. So even just leaning down like this, I just started shooting.
Okay. And where do you feel it? Inside?
It's like
outside?
under the
patella.
patella. I've been getting
No pain.
acupuncture. Yeah, a little.
Okay, tell me which ones.
Okay.
That's 1, 2, 3.
Between 2 and 3. Oh, then that one's from
This one.
yeah. Oh, so you're palpating that, not the.
Wait.
Oh, okay. That's neat.
No, Ito used to do knee diagnosis,
Oh.
but I don't do knee diagnosis. I do nurses. Here, yeah. Did you say here?
You kind of push in, yeah.
This way. Okay, so I have to push it upwards. Okay. How about here?
Yeah.
Oh, you put the magnets where you have pain?
Yeah.
Okay, here?
Yeah.
Also? She has marks from the magnets, so it's here.
No, less so.
Less so.
I mean,
But some.
When I had put the magnet there, yeah, we can overlap them.
So this one, this one, this one, and this one.
The last one is
Least, okay, good math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. I have to push it slightly there.
it's like underneath, so that's fine.
Okay. Is there a movement that you can do that isn't going to be that sharp, horrible?
Yeah, lots of them.
Okay. No, that will still make pain, but not sharp.
Oh,
The horrible one.
no, it's not.
It's one of the.
Yeah, it's either like I'm just sitting here, it's fine, or I
Okay.
just move a little centimeter and it
Okay.
excruciating.
And the movement has nothing to do with bending and stretching the knee. Or
Well,
it does.
if I bend up like this,
Uh-huh.
and then I go back down, like right around here, you can feel it starting.
Okay. Okay. Melamine first. If you have scars more interesting. She has the same thing. You see how this part is. This is already sore. Okay. And you see she has a part that concaves inwards when they press. I suspect that maybe this is sore, but chances are this is sore. Sore. Yeah. More sore?
No.
No. Okay. That's good. Just asking. Sore.
Yeah.
2,
Oh, 2.
3,
2.
4.
Oh, 4.
4 is
Between 2 and 4.
okay. 4 also. And 5.
5 sharpest.
And 2 also. Right? And 1. So basically the whole scar except one. The one area that I thought it would be.
They must be moving contrary.
Yeah. No, it's what you call it,
The
comets.
meteor showers.
Beautiful. Okay, so. And I can do lung and touch on the scar. I can touch the area that doesn't hurt. So, lung. Do you mind hands down? Because if you have your hands here, it stretches the belly, so it's over hard. You're the worry type.
Yeah.
Okay, we say anxiety, Ren 17 we say anxiety, Ren 15 we say worry, Ren 9 we say sadness. Okay? And 9 is sadness.
Did you feel right now?
Well, 15 is worry. 15 belongs to spleen 3, pericardium 4 category, or spleen 3 past pericardium. You have to check pericardium.
So you think if you're sad about something but you take action, like you're worrying about it, that because I've been feeling a lot of sadness. No, I mean I've been feeling a lot of sadness about the world, but I worry about it.
Yeah, I think this guy. I don't know if what people feel right now about the world, so to speak.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit more related to worry. You know, I mean, it's not exactly.
Yeah, like I'm not feeling fear.
So here's something. Where is it?
Yeah.
Here. Oh, no. Okay. I just make sure I'm not going to that place. Yeah. Okay. Then. Oh. Okay. Was it? Is it?
It was a ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. How about? This? Okay. Both in nose.
Yeah.
In down. Oops. Okay. Okay. No. More down on this side.
Yeah. Or on the right. And I'm left-handed if that means anything.
No, not really.
All my injuries are on the left side.
Oh, really? And her dynamite. Can you, Ingun on this side, sorry, Ingun on this side's worse. Sometimes the twist is here, but the symptoms are on the other side. Not always, sometimes. So, quick way to check out. Sorry about this. Here, right? Okay. Well, first of all, I'm going to give numbers to the knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You still feeling it? Okay. Good. Sorry about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Much less.
Much
Probably
less.
50, 40.
Cool. Okay, so all we can. Oh, hot flashing calling up, blah blah blah. Okay.
You're not sweating on my side.
One, two, behind the SCM for immune, you know, show tonsillectomy. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3. And 1, 2, 3.
Not really. This is last one.
Let me find something.
Oh,
Oh, this one.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. House 3.
Better.
How much better?
Actually gone.
Okay, very important. Immune points, they're extremely important. Okay? And then immune point, we say weak immunity will lead to weak ligaments. She has a ligament problem. Okay? How is knee, 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 and knee? I know she also had sex problem, but that was 25 years ago, so I can ignore her. No, I can do the young channel, I don't need to do pericardium.
But I also
no,
said
but she's-
immunity, I don't get cold and flu and
Doesn't
stuff.
matter, but you have like some tendency that doesn't have to show. It's just that somebody
Because I
with
got
cardiac
cancer.
parents. You know, it doesn't mean that it's showing now. It just means that it's in your constitution somewhere, lurking. But wait, no, I was wrong. Sex is not the problem, but worry is the problem. I can't do that. Okay, I can't turn the arm this way until I do pericardium. Maybe I need pericardium to resolve REM 14. Okay? REM 14, 15. So, REM 15 is spleen 3 plus something on the pericardium. Okay, remember you have this one? Okay. How is this one?
Still tender.
Still tender, fine, no problem. But I need spleen 5 possibly for the knee. How is that?
Still not the same.
No difference. Okay, fine. Other side. Spleen 5,
No change.
no change, and spleen. Pericardium, no problem. Any pain?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, okay. So, pericardium 3. How's REM 15?
Better.
How much better?
This again. Pretty much gone.
Pretty much gone, okay. Any heart issues in the family?
Heart, like heart disease. Yeah, my father has high blood pressure and had a couple of almost strokes.
Okay, so pericardium, I don't start with the arms. I usually start with the feet. I also need to start with the lower abdomen. So she has inguinal, and she has, and she has the scar. Now, if the inguinal, because her case, sorry to say, she's a teeny bit on the chubbier side. Okay, we have something called visceraptosis. Somebody who's big, because she's a small girl. Okay, so it's like she's short. So it's like she doesn't look like I mean, usually we say visceraptosis. Somebody has to be like obese.
And I put on
Oh, you
like
put on
20
weight?
pounds in the last few
Fine.
years.
Okay. In which case?
I mean, I was not chubby, but then I got really chubby. So probably medically at least 5 years.
Here, yeah? Okay. Stomach 13. Much less.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's clearly visceraptosis type. Okay, because otherwise, remember I told you can use kidney 9, for example, for inguinal, for what she has. Like, with her, we use kidney 9 for the same one. But for her, mariposa, because of her build, I'm thinking, well, maybe because everything sort of sags down, and I need a stomach 13 outwards. Okay, stomach 13 is called door of chi. Door of chi, lifting chi. But also opposite side. If you look at the torso, this is opposite side of this one. So that's how I use this. Better? Lots better? Okay. There's a section called visceraptosis in the nose. Okay, and you'll see it. Stomach 13 plus immune because weak ligaments. Okay, this is a ligament. People they're sagging into the lowest ligament in the torso. So they're sagging into the inguinal ligament. Okay. So, but your bad one is, the bad one is this one. Hold on. How? So half a needle.
This energy.
Can you open? Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's like extra at the end. Thank you. All right. So, how is this orthosis in? Okay, fine. So, supporting points for this is immune point, GB26, inner yin. Okay? So, I already know she has GB26. Let's release GB26 first. So, kidney 7. How's GB26? Great. Thank you so much.
And what made you check GB26? Did you have twisted ones?
Because of the knee, I started checking twisting. You know, if she has knee pain, I check twisting, and hers on the right side. Yeah, because, you know, maybe you twisted the knee, or maybe whatever you did had to do with twisting the knee. You know, when you got there. Okay. So, by the way, now that GB26 is released, let's find out where this is still sound. GB26. How is this one?
Better. Well, maybe 10 of this number.
Okay, right. And remember, you have this gets needled not straight in, but towards the floor, towards the. My tables are wider, so towards the other side of the table, towards here. Okay, the angle is this way, not 90 degrees, but out towards the triple worm or small intestine channel. This is the immune point. Yeah, this is the famous immune point. Sorry.
Is that TB8? Japanese TB8?
No, triple warmer 8 is here.
Oh,
This is like large intestine 10 and 11, but on the triple warmer channel.
You were checking her scaling?
No, I was checking behind Sandra 16. Okay, now knee, 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 and 5.
None.
None. Well, you have to do it in motion. It's this is all nice, but it doesn't mean anything. Okay, so yeah, I know. Yeah, it's nice to have illusions. By the way, okay, that was all nice. Now let's start scar. Scar. Why did you let me do the pericardium? It was pericardium. After I give you this whole lecture how I have to do this, and then I don't do it, it's kind of like not a good thing. Sorry.
It's hard to see. Could you see what the
Oh, I'm sorry. Pericardium 3, pericardium 5, then immune again. Because I forgot because house round 15. Okay. So, and as it happens, sometimes you can get away with one side instead of two with pericardium. You know, there's theories about one side is chi, one side is blood. So, how emotionally dependent is this problem? You know, so it's just hard to know. So, I'm lucky. Otherwise, I'd have to take that one out also.
So it's more emotional when you do the one side.
I don't know. I don't know what the theory is, and who knows what the blood side is. Everybody's going to say it's a different side. Blood side is left side. Blood side is right side. I don't know. I believe that left side, this side is chi side, and that side is blood side. I believe that's the theory I'm supposed to believe in. But I don't know. I really don't know. Okay. Hi. 1, 2, 3, 4. How are those? They're gone. Totally.
The 4 was about maybe 10% left.
Fine. It's the only one that's left. So I can do inner yin is supporting point for this one, but remember inner yin, liver 9, it's all the same, right? So let's try liver 9 because it's Cancer originally. Yeah. Okay. Number 4.
Little bit. I think you're pressing a little deeper. Feels a little bit. Now it's not a little. Enough.
Okay.
And inner yin is a supporting point
For inguinal.
for neck.
Okay. So yeah, I use a lot of shorthand because that's why the notes are there. And I'm just assuming that you're looking at the notes, but if not, that's okay. You can ask me. So yeah, inner yin is supporting point. It's stomach 13, GB 26, inner yin, immune, plus pericardium 4, because for somebody who's had lots of operation and that's why they have visceroctosis. Pericardium 4 is important because it's blood supply. Maybe they have lots of scar tissue in the abdomen. Okay, so those are the points we use for visceroctosis, inguinal form. Okay, but inner yin or liver 9, I just made a corporate decision here and I decided on liver 9. And how is this one? Fine. Okay. And knee.
Press 3 again.
Knee.
Slight tension.
Okay.
Not anything I could do.
Okay. So training constitution treats so-called knee. Okay. So now we have to find out, is this really true? I mean, how much am I cheating? How much am I convincing myself that this is true? Because no. What happens is you can press the knee for all you want. She didn't say I have pain on pressure. She said I have pain on movement. So we're going to ask you to move. I know it's a drag, but if you don't mind. And it's a straightening, right? You're going to produce something, because now we have to check the
You can move it around.
No, I don't know. I only charge for my
When I went like this.
Okay, so you can produce that kind of, okay, wait one more. Okay, I can do my stomach 41 spleen 5 routine. Okay, go ahead. Go, move. Good? Okay. Sorry, you okay? Sorry. Go. Sorry. You okay now? Iron pump, just one gadget for my benefit. You asked for the iron pumping cord, right? This is an iron pumping cord. Pumping. So the red clip goes in spleen 5. Is that okay? No. Sometimes the clips are heavy and it's a drag. Okay? Okay. And last point, very good for me, because she said under the patella. Between stomach 40, say, down to stomach 41, there might be bumps. And she has bumps here. It's a great point for patella pain. Okay? We call stomach chi point.
You're going to use same side or
Same side. Okay. You okay?
So would that be patella being was on the spleen chin to the stomach?
Well, patella is really neither. It's really more stomach. Patella is different than inner knee eye, outer knee eye. You can say it's patella, but that's not. To me, that's not patella. That's inner knee eye and outer knee eye. Patella means like under the patella, like what she's saying, under the patella. So it refers everywhere else, but her pain is really under the patella, right?
Like central.
So, and you have to find a bump.
your stomach?
Yeah, but my stomach channel is literally on the bone, almost totally on the bone. You okay? And I needle it down and towards the bone. And immune point, always adding moxa. And stomach chi, always adding moxa.
You used a regular burn ointment?
The Qin-1-1? Yeah, the problem with Qin-1-1 is it's not very solid, so it melts, and when you put it down, your hands, because it melts, so after the first time, your hands pick it up. So I don't like it that much. But if it works for you, fine. I mean, the only purpose of it is to protect the patient, that's all, the skin of the patient. So whatever you want to use is fine. Well, that will really, that will be totally messy. The thing about this gel is that it's really a gel. It's really dense. Any questions?
Is that standard for you to box up?
Hmm?
Is that standard for you to muscle forms specific for her?
Immune always moxa. Always add moxa. Yeah, and stomach chi always add moxa. Yeah.
Even if the person tends to have a lot of heat.
Doesn't matter. This moxa doesn't matter. Heat, no heat. If you look at it, it's totally yellow. It's not the same stuff that the Chinese use. It's the same plant, but what this is, you know how some leaves have have like a wool on the leaf? This is the wool. This is not the twig of the leaf itself. And the way they do it is they basically centrifuge the whole thing. What? You kind of looked at each other like, what? Okay, I thought it was a comment. You just happened to have caught.
We just happen to catch each other.
Yeah, so I was just wondering if it was anything to do with a wool. So this is the wool on the leaf. This is not the leaf itself. That's my understanding. And the Chinese, what they do is they take the whole thing and they just cut it. They just chop it all together, and so what you're seeing is green or brown, but it's not yellow. This is very fluffy.
And tell them about how Manaka found the pineapple.
Oh, okay.
That's a good story.
It's a good story. Okay. So originally these pumpkin corns were derived. Manaka was he was a doctor in the Japanese army during World War II, and he had all these burn patients because of bombs and stuff, and he didn't know what to do with them, so he put tin foil. That's all he had. He put tin foil on the burns.
Tin for the roofs.
Oh, okay. That was very sterile, by the way. And he discovered that the burns got better from it. So he figured that there was something in the tin that was conducting inflammation away, and that's how he came up with the idea of pumping ions away from the site. So his treatment was to take tin foil and put the red clip on hard 7 and the black clip on the foil of the wound that was attached to the wound. Now, I had a patient who once called me and she said, "Oh, I can't come because I just spilled some tea on my thigh and it hurts like hell, blah, blah, blah." I said to her, "Well, why don't you take some aluminum foil and put it on?" And she did, and she said, the pain went away. So it really does work. It's not just from the book.
But he discovered it. The story that I heard from Kiiko years ago was that he, after the bombings and stuff in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, people who were found under the buildings where they were tin, a lot of their buildings, the roads were made of tin, survived better and their burns were less. And so that's what got him experimenting with tin and polarity. He just died a few years back in his 80s or something.
Yeah, I never met him, so I don't really, there's a lot of Monica style in this style, but this is not exactly Monica style in any way, shape, or form. Okay, but this whole thing about lots of moxa, lots of gadgets, this is very Monica. It's very labor intensive. Monica had lots and lots of assistants. He could just go from room to room and try this. So he tried things like, try yellow on the spleen channel, things like, like really weird stuff that you'd go, oh, please. But he was really into all this esoteric stuff, and he would tell you, do it, drum on it at a rate of 50 per second, or 50 per minute, or try 55 per minute, all sorts of weird things that, he liked to experiment, and he had the manpower to do it, basically.
Italy uses a lot of these kinds of devices for Monica, and they tend to be very expensive, $700 for this machine, $1,000 for this special diode chain. I kind of asked him, you know, to kind of
Tone
limit
it
that
down.
a little bit, because I figured most of you are not really looking for that, but if you like that, and you just would let us know, and you can do that. Because obviously we
After we
can
get a
work all
few
day.
workers talking.
No. I actually think that it's much more fun to do it without the gadgets. The thing is, when you have real life patients, okay, I mean, theoretically, it's nice if you can do it very clean, very quantical, classical, whatever you want to call these things. The problem is that when you have a patient and you've done everything you can, I mean, I can say, I like remote points, I don't like local points, okay? I like only distal. But if the patient doesn't get better and there's a muscle spasm and I can get a thick needle and yank it in, I mean, I would cup someone, I would scrape someone. You know, I'm not proud, you know, it's like, so whatever works, you know. No, because, you know, Japanese acupuncture, you're not supposed to do crude devices, you know, it's like they think it's not nice to use these barbaric Chinese devices. I will do it, but I'll do it, you know, as a last minute thing, you know. So the thing about, especially the diet things, which are extremely expensive, no question about it, okay, they actually come from a guy by the name of Kawai, okay, who was one of Monica's associates. And Kawai is an expensive kind of guy. I mean, you know, he's the kind of guy, he comes to the airport and he spends $3,000 a day at the duty free before he goes on a plane. Hey, you know, okay? It's not in my category, okay? And all his stuff is really expensive. Everything you buy is really expensive. But the thing is that if you figure out you treat lots of people with it, then it's not the end of the world. But, you know, it's like when you're thinking of spending $70 for a pair of diode rings, it's like, you know, or $140 for a diode chain, and you're not sure if it will ever work, it's a bit of a drag. So I actually prefer to work without them, but, you know, it's like if you want to get extra mileage, the toys are very useful. They tend to be more of a local treatment nature to begin with. And that's what's nice about it, is because you can do something locally without needles. So, but you can do, you know, stomach 41, spleen 5, you can do without iron pumping cords. It works also. You know, the iron pumping cord just kind of increases the effectiveness of it. And I just, you know, since somebody asked, I just pulled it out. It's not a must by any stretch of the imagination. So, okay. So whoever is still awake, do you have any questions? Yes.
I have a question about Chill Burger 8.
Uh-huh.
Why do you refer to it as Chill Burger 8 rather than Chill Burger 9?
It depends on your point of view. You can say it any way you want, okay? Okay. In Japanese acupuncture, there's a guy by the name of Sawada, okay? Sawada was a moxibustionist. He's very famous, or rather he used a lot of mox, I don't know. And he was in the 1920s or something. And there's a point which is similar to the immune point, and he called Sawada Sanjao 9, okay? Manaka originally used slightly different point, still above 9, okay? But you can think about it two different ways. You can think one way, you can say the name for Sanjiao 8 is Yang Jiao, okay? It's the meeting of the yangs, it's the intersection of yangs, okay? So you can say intersecting yang affects a more yang area of the neck and also affects yang function of nervous system, so therefore SCM has to do with nervous system. That's one way to say it. You know, intersection of yang smoothing, okay? The other way to say it, which is a little bit harder, is the name for Sanjiao 9 is Sidu, which means four rivers. In China, well, it's not exactly China, it depends on your view of China, what you consider China. But in China, the larger China, there are 4 rivers. Okay, that's from the Mekong all the way up. Okay, so the Mekong, in my opinion, is not anywhere near China. Okay, but in their opinion, it's China. So, right. So, they define the central land, which is China, okay, is defined by the 4 rivers. In other words, the 4 rivers, there's an expression also, the 4 oceans, for example. It's kind of a definition of all that is. Okay, so you can say this is the point that reaches all that is, opening up, because, you know, if you open up the heavens sort of thing, like heavenly points, It's like you're reaching all that is. You're creating harmony. Either way, you're kind of reaching the same conclusion. So it's just a question of taste for point names. That's all.
So I've heard the name, the fourth gutter.
Hmm?
I've heard the name the fourth gutter.
Fourth gutter.
Gutter, like you have.
Yeah, I know what a gutter is. I think it's supposed to be a river. You're Chinese, you can tell me.
I've seen the translation a couple of times,
Okay.
and I thought very drawn to that because it's like if you clean out the
Uh,
gutters, then
yeah.
you can get it makes the flow go
Okay.
through the lymph.
Then that works for you too. I mean, there's no real reason why, you can call a point anything you want as long as you know where it is. And you have some understanding of it for yourself. That's all. But I like Sancho 8. I don't know. It's something that sticks with me as far as numbers go. So, no real reason. Hold on one second.
You said you only use heart 3 in
Most.
mostly only
yeah.
use heart 3 in one case, and I didn't catch it.
Okay, but no, heart 3 we use in lots of cases. It's pretty much the only point that we really use in heart channel. We use heart 7 for kidney 27 pain, but otherwise heart points. I mean, yeah, sometimes we'll take theoretically. We'll go, oh, heart 5. They say it's good for mute, so you'll do. Heart channel is very philosophical channel. It's very spiritual channel. So but heart 3 we use a number of times. Okay, one is it's part of mineral treatment. Jiao hai, shui hai, qi hai, xiao hai, xiao hai. Okay, all the highs. Okay, hai. Okay, so hai. Now 5. Okay, so this is one. Another one is we use heart 5 for what we call small intestine channel pain, which can be either on the small intestine, like do 14, we consider small intestine channel. Okay, because it's Taiyang. All the yang channels go to do 14, but small intestine is Taiyang, bigger yang. So heart 3 is very good for do 14 pain that's on one side, not on the other. Okay, so Wato. We also use it for L5 pain that's one-sided. Like you have one side L5 pain, not the other. That's heart 3 on the side of the pain. Okay. Otherwise, we don't, that's the main things that we use. Oh, and the heart 3 is used on the right side. It's part of the excess liver pattern that you'll see in the notes, hepatitis treatment. So otherwise, and the rest of the heart channel we just don't use. What time is it? Okay. Heart channels, you have a few more minutes, so we'll try. But do you want to? No, don't lift you.
Do you use it on the opposite? Do you have pain along the
No, same side. The Jaji that has. Oh yeah, go ahead.
With the iron pumping cord, use that as a substitute for electricity.
Hold on one second. Can we get the heat gun on her feet? Thank you. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
With the iron pumping cord, do you use that as a substitute for electricity, or is there specific characteristics of each that you keep interchanged?
No, it doesn't relate to electricity at all. When you're using electricity, what you're doing basically is you're vibrating the needle at a frequency will be harder for you to imitate with your hands. And conceivably, depending on the machine you're using, there's some differential in polarities. Okay? But all this is, there's no electricity and you're using a battery. Okay? This, because there is a diode in here, and it's a germanium diode. Okay? So germanium, I don't know exactly what it does, but it has something to do with mineral balance in the body. Okay, it's some sort of it's a metal. It's a mineral, and it resonates with the body's circulation. So what it does is it forces the ions to go, I believe, from the black to the red, or from the red to the I don't know. Forces the ions to go a certain way in the cord itself.
Red to the black.
Red to the black, okay. Which means that in the body it supposedly does the opposite, because the body will compensate. If outside the body it goes this way, the body will flow it back this way. So it creates some sort of circulatory thing. It's not an electrical current per se. I mean, it's a micro current. And there's absolutely no external force here. Okay, so
It's like
totally
osmosis or something. It's sort of a passive electricity.
Yeah.
There was a couple of points I was wondering if you could tell us where they are. Kiiko and
Ihikon.
in Japanese long six.
Okay. Ihikon is basically supposedly UB40, UB58, UB60. Okay? Now, but this UB40 will look more like UB39. Okay? And that's a point. This is a point combination for head injury. Lung 6 is, again, just like pericardium 4 is 3 fingers below, lung 6 is 3 fingers below lung 5. Instead of 5 soon it's 3 fingers. That's it. And by the way, interestingly enough, Etienne said the same thing about those 2 points. Lung 6, pericardium 4. She didn't take standard notation.
Would you like to use lung 6, please?
Hemorrhoids. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah, I don't really use lung 6 for anything else.
One other question. Can you say a little bit about migraines?
I can say a lot about migraines. I can give you a migraine, but how much I can talk about migraines. Would you like to be a little more
Cause, how to get rid of them, points, anything.
anything? Okay. Anyone has a simpler question before I start on that one? Yeah.
I was actually
No, I don't
wondering
think
about hemorrhoids before you mentioned when I'm 6.
Yeah, I'm psychic.
Um,
Oh, my sheet is psychic.
I was wondering, do you palpate like around the penis? Yeah, I'm wondering like, you sort of like, you sent them home and said, hope that works for you.
No, of course not. Is this what you learned today? Don't poke anyone in the head. No. Hemorrhoids, first of all, can show lower part of abdomen on the left side because rectum is really more on the left side. Okay, number 1. Which is why we use the point on the left side. Number 1. Number 2. You may find stomach 25 or stomach 27 pain can reflect hemorrhoids, but anybody who has a real clear hemorrhoids, you say, "Can you squeeze your butt for me?" Okay, they can feel the hemorrhoid. Okay, number 1. If they really have a hemorrhoid that hurts, you know. The other method is you say, "Can you please cough?" They can feel the hemorrhoid. She's trying all the. Okay, so
Just
either
checking.
squeeze, just checking. You either squeeze or you cough, and you can feel it, and then you try the point. No, but I don't go. 12 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
It's not in our scope of practice. Don't do it.
Yeah, legal advice. You know, it's so, proctologist joke. I wouldn't tell you. So the other thing is for hemorrhoids. If you're interested in hemorrhoids, you do, but this you need another instrument. See, this is where it's really cute because you can really do all sorts of things that you couldn't do otherwise. You check both UB35s and you check which one is more painful, left or right. You needle both of them, but remember which one was more painful. Okay? Then you needle L5. You look for something weird in L5. If it's not L5, it's a teeny bit above, a teeny bit below, I don't care. Okay? Water or dew, usually it's the dew. You needle that. And then from iron pumping cord, we also have another kind of cord called 3 bypass cord. Okay? This has 2 diodes in it. This has 1 diode, this has 2 diodes. Okay? Just the way it is. You put the green on the most painful UB35, the red on the less painful UB35. Okay? The black goes on the back of this instrument that's called a pachi. That's basically an oven sparker. You spark the needle on L5. And the patient goes, "Oops." You, "Oh, so sorry." Like you didn't know they were going to jump, right? And then you attach the black clip to L5. Okay? So more painful UB35, less red on less painful, black clip to the pachi, zap on L5, and black clip to L5. That is where just that trick. You get one person with hemorrhoids that this works on. Believe me, it's worth the investment. Okay, we're talking about $30. This is $100 basically. Okay, I had a patient that had a major hemorrhoid. I mean, I don't poke hemorrhoids, okay? But when you have a ping pong ball in your butt, even I don't have a choice. I have to see because I'm looking at UB35 and ping pong ball. Interesting. You know, I mean, it was in major pain. Okay, and he left. When he left the clinic, he said, "Wow, I feel great." That's pretty much what I did on him. So you know, some of these things, it's like, it's all nice to learn about theories and principles and stuff. When it comes down to it, it's like sometimes all you have to do is treat the symptom. I mean, it's like, yeah, you can do a lot of other things, but sometimes to treat a symptom, there's just this one treatment that just happens to work on it, it has no explanation.
What is that machine called?
Pachi Pachi. P-A-C-H-I. It's actually called, in Oliver's catalog, which does not sell them anymore, it's called Pana Sparkle. It's by Panasonic. But Panasonic doesn't produce them anymore, and unfortunately they have the trademark, the patent on this, so they won't produce it. It's basically, honest to God, for $60, all you got was an oven sparkler that's been modified, it's been bastardized to number one, do it continuously, number two, to go backwards as well, because that's where the black that goes in the back, and then you connect the whole thing, and it's just, now, you can use, if you want, now, Kiiko still sells, but they look different, they look like this, they're enormous, I mean, it's like coming with a gun. So, now this, by the way, is modified, this is shorter than the usual ones that they used to sell, I have them shortened, especially, but, you can conceivably put electric stim on the point, and then put the clips, and the electric stim, it's not exactly like the sparking, but it helps, because I don't think so. Because there's two diodes in here. With the ion pumping cords, because there's one diode, the electricity has to go one way. With two, and a third that goes, it's not clear how it needs to go, so it needs to be pushed. So that's what the problem is. But, Kawaii sometimes doesn't use the sparker because people don't like it, and he just uses plain electric stim and then attaches this also. So this is only $30. So migraines. Well, the most common kind of migraine obviously is has something to do with blockage of blood vessels. So it could be structured, like people say tension headache sort of thing. Right? So, by the way, do you have migraines? Yeah. The reason I'm asking, it wasn't just because I wanted to ask, because if you look at her feet, you can see her toes are very close together. We say the bas thumbs oxygenate the brain. They allow more oxygen, more circulation to go through the neck.
I have been headaches, but yeah, I heard about that, but not migraines.
Okay. But basically for migraines, what I do is I, release SCM, release the neck. So 111A is a very important point for migraines. Really, really, really important. Sorry. I am. Would I hurt you? Let's turn it over and continue on migraines. Because, migraine is many different kinds of definitions for migraine. Some people say a migraine is a headache where you also have to wait with GB26. Yeah, I think never mind.
My shirt off?
Yeah, if you don't mind. But first of all, checking me. I always ask you to check the symptom after. First, even though it's half the treatment only. I'd rather know where I stand.
Little. Right
Okay.
there. But not drop me, stop me, hold in my track. Kind of thing. Dressed for the occasion here.
So releasing SCM, releasing neck is very important. So sometimes, maybe inner yin because the trapezius is tight, for example. But always SCM. I always release the SCM. You can check the migraine by pressing on ion often. Oh, so depending on the kind, because some people say a migraine is a headache accompanied by nausea or vomiting or something, or feeling something like that. That might be. Some people say migraine is just a severe headache. Some people say migraine is a one-sided headache. So migraine is not really a clear definition of anything in life. So, you have to find out what it is that they have. But there's a good chance that releasing the neck is one of the major strategies. Some migraines come from sinus problems, for example. Okay, because if you have sinuses, it kind of starts getting up here, and then it can be like a microphone. So immune point, for example. So it kind of depends on what else they have. You have to diagnose it all, but definitely this. Okay? And at the end, you can always do stretch, because it releases this. Is that answering
Yeah,
that?
that's very good.
And charge 55 extra. Yes.
And you said press on Taiyang and then
Well, Taiyang can be a reflex of the headache. I mean, you find something that's a reflex of the migraine. Well, and then you check your different points.
So I can't run to
so nothing.
Sure, go for it. Someone else has no question.
What is this about the 5 diagnosis? Is this a big?
The what?
In your booklet, you have a 5 phases diagnosis. Okay.
Oh, you mean like liver, spleen
Spleen,
type?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, of course, yeah, very important.
That's not what is it?
Like remember, okay, it's just like your regular, up to now I've talked most, I've talked also about the other stuff. Like I said, she's thyroid type, she's ANS type, she's this. But sometimes get somebody who's just spleen type. Remember, with her, it was more like she's spleen type. Okay, because of, so it is important. You want to know, can I skip those pages? No.
I don't want to skip them. I want to know if you missed them.
Oh, okay, so for example, okay, so liver is kind of, if you have pain on liver 14 or under the ribs, like she did, okay, it's important. No, it wasn't. No, you had spleen
Bill said
side.
he did.
Hmm?
Bill said he had pain on the
Oh, right, but he's gone. Liver is the only organ we distinguish excess and deficiency. Okay, so we have different treatment strategies for that. Spleen, we have 2 major spleen types, spleen 9 and spleen 3. Okay? Spleen 9 is like if you have appendix scar, if you have GB21, then it just leads you to different points. That's all. So that's what that list is on the 5, on the 5-element so-called 5-element diagnosis. Does that make sense?
And the treatment's on there too.
They're all in there. Yeah, they should be in there. Do you see it?
When I dumped that on here, it definitely hurt like on the side of the back.
Okay. And it's this side. All right, where is the pen? No, later. I'm just identifying them right now. Don't worry. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay, now you have to remember. Left side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Correct? No, some people have lots more. It's normal for people to have 3 or 4 on either side. care where the vertebrae is.
Okay.
It can be under, it can be in line, it
I
can
get
be
it.
anything.
So you're just dividing it back into areas and you're just...
Yeah, I just do fours because that's kind of enough for people to learn. Because if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, and she says 3 and 4, I can go 3, 4. I can tell where it was. If I do 10 of them together, I'll never. If they say number 3, I won't remember. So that's all. The 4 is a convenient measure for me, 4 or 5 or 3. But it's nothing to do with what official bladder points or anything like that.
And
It's
you're
the
right
plateau.
along the spine.
Yeah, here, touch. Now, I can then do bladder quickly, just to get areas. 1, 2, 3, 4. By the way, she's kind of flat here. Did you used to swim as a child or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's a little bit flat. Unlike you, it's all rounded a bit. So, I'm always noticing things. And then I start asking questions, that's all.
Swimming will change the shape and will make you fun.
Yeah. Don't you know, like, swimmers have a certain shape in the back? It's kind of like, it's like wider and flatter. Don't you think?
Like fish, huh?
Hmm?
Like a fish.
I see. I don't know what fish look like. Okay, so right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which one was the worst?
Somewhere between 5 and
8, 6,
8.
and 5. Okay, 5 and 8. Yeah.
8.
8 more. Okay. So this is L5S1. Okay. So sacroiliac, very important. By the way, this point is called bending stretching. This whole area of sacroiliac is called bending stretching. Hi. She has a problem bending stretching. Hi. How's L5? You sure? Now I'm aiming it towards opposite GB26. I sometimes can't get that angle because sometimes, the person's ligaments are stronger than I am, or stronger than the needle rather. Hi, how's L5? No, not compared. It's gone. Okay. Hi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the other 4 are fine?
Yeah.
Fine. 6, 7, 8. Gone. Other side. But it's this side that's important. Because this is, even though, although interesting, remember, you're the one with the wrong GB. Yeah, you're the one with the opposite side GB26. Yeah. So in spite of should be this side, and half side is making here. Okay. Left side you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hmm?
Yes.
Okay. Which one's worse?
4.
4. Sorry. How's 4? Yeah, sacroiliac. Okay. True sacroiliac ligament. This is her sacrum. The ligament's right here, where the guide tube is. I'm going slightly outside. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, with the pressure.
Yeah, no, I know. See? It's stronger than the needle, so the needle gets bent. Sorry. Also has to do with my technique was kind of a little shoddy. But I'd rather blame the ligament.
Very thin needle.
They are, yeah, I sometimes use number 3 and I use maybe slightly longer. I use 50 millimeters, but Okay, so I believe you probably still have either 2 and 3 left. 2? Okay, and how about this 4 on this side? Okay, next. She says you love sugar, right? And pasta. Okay, so let's look around T11, T12. Okay. Something here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. T11, T12, by the way, can affect the whole spine. Okay. How's this?
Top one?
Yeah.
Fine.
Unfortunately, it's hard for me to check against the knee at this point. So I'm doing something relatively theoretical. Yeah, I'm just because I don't have anything to check against anymore. So it's a little bit theoretical at this point. Yeah. But you know, somebody who eats lots of sugar, you know, sagging hurts the knee, so I'd rather keep sugar. And then finally, because you know, of her thyroid thing, use your thyroid.
And if someone had low back pain, you wouldn't do the same method as
No,
much.
if they have L5, this is the best treatment for L5S1, the sacroiliac treatment. L4, L5, or L5S1 responds best. By the way, hers, you can see the tendons pops out really nicely. Can you see?
Kind of.
Come
Yeah,
closer.
yeah. I see it.
Can you come closer?
Yeah. But it might be a little
I
blurred.
meant you.
Oh no, I can't.
Oh, okay.
No.
What are you pointing to?
Just
See this needle here? She just had the tendon sticks out very easily.
Really obvious.
Oh, yeah.
And there's thyroid.
No. It just means it just means it's easier to find the point. See this tendon? So it just pops out of her. How's this?
I think you're doing a little bit better than it was when you finished the treatment.
Hopefully. I hope so.
How did you assess thyroid problems?
Remember she had lower part of the SCM?
Oh, okay, right.
Plus she
Okay.
claims,
Okay,
you know, so.
okay.
Besides, if I say, by the way, now I'm addressing your thyroid, she feels so much better. You know, if I ignore her thyroid, she thinks, that fucking asshole, he doesn't hear a word I'm saying, you know? It's like this, he's on my thyroid, my knee will get better. I want to ask another question. What was the last question? Wait, there was a question that I don't think I answered. It's the same as spleen 3, it's just that we don't take spleen 3 exactly on the bone like TCM, we take it slightly away from the bone towards spleen 4, that's all.
Oh, so just lower.
Further along the channel, not about lower. Yeah. Inner yin?
Yeah.
5 fingers above kidney 9. Take liver 9 and go down towards the kidney channel.
Five.
5 fingers above kidney 10. Yes, sorry. You said something else.
Is it
Kidney 10.
so? Is any between those two tendons? You know, like there's
No.
two big tendons over there.
No.
just,
Let me show you. Well, actually, it's hard with genes, but you know, just to find liver 9, you just slide until you stop, okay? Because you're on a liver channel, and then just take that down. And I don't know if you can really feel the tendons exactly by then, because you know this is like quite a long way away from the attachment, so I don't think it's really the tendon at that point.
Okay.
I'll show you on someone in this. Actually, I can show you. Kiiko likes needling it actually from this angle because we needle it towards the stomach or the gallbladder channel. I don't like it so much in this angle, to be honest. I actually like it from the front. But basically, so liver 9 would be here, and I just come up here for, see, 5 fingers.
I'm sorry.
I'll do it on this
Yeah,
side.
could you
okay?
show on that leg, please?
Yeah.
Thanks.
So liver 9 would be here, and then I move towards kidney channel. Okay, and see, 5 fingers. Are you okay?
Okay.
So that's the inner yin.
Yeah.
Is it a sore on
Someone
men
there
as it
has
is on
one.
women?
It's more sore for women, generally speaking. Yeah, because it's part of the hormonal area. Wait, just because I remember someone there had a question. No.
As far as you just testing the Watajaji points, you know, you went through and tested those, I wasn't sure how come you put the needles in down at the base of sacrum for women.
Oh,
Like the first points you put in after you checked everything and you found that the sensitivity was mostly right here with the sacrum and lumbar knee. The points that you needled here first, yeah, I'm not sure how you got those ones.
okay. These are called Actually, it's very important that you know these. Sacrum. iliac bone, and then they meet here. There's ligaments here. These are officially sacroiliac ligaments. No one, however wide she is, no one has a sacrum the width of my, this length of my hand, okay? That's not. Her sacrum is here. Her sacrum is maybe the width of my fingers, maybe, and that's wide, okay? So I'm clearly not in the true sacroiliac ligaments, okay? What happens, that's why I thought if we had a skeleton it would be easier. These ligaments wrap over, this is the iliac bone. There's a little space and there's these ligaments that hold them together. If they get tight and they start pulling, you start getting problems in the back. Okay. Now, instead of getting them here, which number one is hard to find on a lot of people, you need good training to find, really good anatomical training to find. This is where UB 27, 28, 29, 30 is supposed to be. Forget the one that have some because there's no way it doesn't matter. It depends on where you find the sacrum, okay? And these are the 31, 32, 33, 34. Okay? I'm taking it further out because these ligaments will attach because, see, you need a three-dimensional thing. The iliac crest sort of flares out here but goes under here. This is all hollow, okay? And then you have the gluteus and all the muscles kind of filling up this area, okay? The attachment of these ligaments with the gluteus is what creates that rope, which is on the other side of the bone. The ligament is here. This will be sacroiliac ligament. I'm going to the other side of the bone. Okay, so let me show you on her. You can see this is her sacrum. Sorry, it's a little higher actually. This is the sacrum. Okay, sacroiliac ligaments would now be basically where this pin is. Look how much further out I am. Okay, on most people it will only look like this. Okay, it won't be, because she is wider, it happens to go out wider. Okay, and the top one, the corner one, is what I call UB27. Okay, even though this really should be UB27. So these are great for L4, L5 problems. Okay, and no, this is not considered local. Local means on the pain. And if it's really tight, you can try and release it with liver 8 first, because it's a tendon. Okay. Another very important point for lower back pain is GB30. I call it GB38 here. Okay. You can argue 38, 39. Very important point for spine.
What was the last two? What was the last two?
GB38 or GB59 or okay. UB59 and GB38 basically have the same name. One is called Yang-Fu and one is called Fu-Yang. Okay, same name. So, meaning it's something to do with assisting Yang. Okay, so I think it has something to do with spine. Seems to work with spine. There we go. And I needle straight up, just like spleen 9 straight up. This one's straight up. Now, then I do sacroiliac. Another point that's very good for back in general is around here. Okay. I take like between UB55 and UB57. I never know where it's going to be, but on the outside, not on the UB channel here, but further lateral, you'll find something weird that affects the lower back. Okay. And then I do sacroiliac. So that's what I tend to do for lower back pain as a dog.
When you say something weird about
Here, yeah, do you feel here? Yeah. So you feel like the tissue changes quality.
And then you needle right into that?
Hmm?
You needle right
Into that UB55, lateral to UB55 to 57, yeah, I needle into
The weird.
yeah. Because, okay, here's another feature. Chinese say UB40 great point for back pain. Who has the experience that UB40 is the best point for back pain?
I'm not experiencing it.
Have you seen it on one case? That's experience. One case. You have. Okay, she kind of went meekly. Okay. Anybody else seen it really work? Great. Wonderful.
That affects with massage.
Interesting. Okay. How many people have effects with needles? Thank God Marshall isn't here. Then she'll tell us how Mary used to bleed it. She used to bleed it. So the thing is, okay, why do you think UB40 has an effect on the lower back? why is that phrase? Where does that phrase come from? Whether it's successful or not, that's a different story. But where do you think the idea comes from? I mean, I know you memorized it, so we know that. I know it comes from page 75 on blah 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 book. But what do you think it represents? Why do you think that's the case? It's not a water point, it's an earth point. Whoops.
Well, it releases the hamstrings.
Why would it release the hamstring?
It does.
Why?
Why?
Why? I'm bad.
Because it's right here. I mean, it's right here. Muscle insertion.
Earth point
I don't
for
think it has
joint-
anything to do with the insertion of the hamstrings. The hamstrings actually attach here. They attach here, as a matter of fact. I mean, if you're talking anatomy, this is not anywhere near an attachment of the hamstring. That's a popliteal fossa. Okay, the hamstrings are attaching on either side, as a matter. Just if we're going to get particular. And it's okay, it's like you can have any explanations you want. I mean, I'm not against anything. I'm just trying to open up. Because the thing is that if I wanted to write an article for a Chinese journal, I would, and I wanted to justify UB40 is great point for low back pain, what would I say, right? Okay, I would say, head point of Taiyang Lega Channel, yak, right? I would basically recite something there. Everybody knows already, and I would put it and just flower it up with more language, okay? And it would mean absolutely nothing, because we all know this dogma. We've all heard that this is the blah blah point of the blah blah, and then we think it's the water point instead of the earth point, because we really don't care. We just heard that it's supposed to be good for back pain. I mean, I know you're all thinking, give us a break already. Okay. But the thing is, what happens if UB40 doesn't work? Okay, and in my experience, it usually doesn't work. UB40 is not the best point for back pain. First of all, it's a point that's not always so easy. If you're going to talk about getting the chi, it's not so easy to get the chi, and it's not so easy to direct the chi to the back. If you can do both of those things, you can get good results with the back. I'm sorry. I won't touch it. Okay, but it's not always so easy to do in my experience, and plus it's not so pleasant for the patient. Okay, so I have to think, what about UB40? What is it that they think that UB40 is unique? Okay, so we know this is a lymph node area. Okay, so you can think it affects the whole lymph area leading to the back. Okay. Now you can say what I just said is basically no different than saying it's part of the bladder channel, right? I mean, how does that differ? That it's the lymph system or it's a channel? Who cares? It's semantics. The difference is it's language that we understand and isn't imposed on us, right? I mean, your lymph you understand. You've seen it. I mean, either in video or in a cadaver or something. You have a clue of what it means. Channel you don't totally. It's harder to understand. So if it has to do with the lymph system, I'm sorry, I'm going to touch right now. Okay, if it has to do with the lymph system, then this whole area is part of that lymph system here, and therefore this area could be just as affected. And now you can find other points that will be just as affected. Okay, or so maybe for you UB40 works great, fine, no problem. But if one day it doesn't, you have other choices. But how do you know where to look for other choices if you don't have an imagery of why it's good for it in the beginning if you just memorize it? Because then you only have UB40. Now, I will tell you another thing. UB40 is considered, by the way, she has puffy popliteal fossa. Okay, that's an easier popliteal fossa to needle than somebody who doesn't have puffy. Okay. The other thing is, on this side, she has more veins. If you have sticking out veins, and you see like blackness on the vein, that's when you want to, get blood out of it. Okay, it's not like needle UB40 or bleed UB40 automatically. Look at what's in there. Okay, this is a congested UB40 area. There's something to be drained. Or if you have veins, there's something to drain out of it. But if there isn't, who says that's the best point? So I think we need to be able to look at the body and make some determination of what works for us, or what's likely to work for us and what's not. And then rather than just get disappointed, the canon of blah 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 says, UB40 back pain, Yach doesn't for yak pain, da 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 da. It's like anybody. We can recite them forever. It won't necessarily help us clinically unless we start developing an affinity for what it means. So that's my explanation. You can build a different one. It doesn't matter. It's fine. As long as it gives you an explanation that gives you an idea of what's happening, and that you can start applying it elsewhere. Otherwise, you're parroting the same information, which is fine. Parrot all this information, spit it out on your boards, and then move on. I'm trying to teach you how to move on, basically. So maybe. Where were we before this?
Just a quick point, maybe.
No, I.
Just a quick point. You said, okay, before you may not be the ideal area, so you go lower than that?
I go lower. I go 55 to 57, and I go slightly lateral. That's my explanation why this point works. This is a famous point in Chinese acupuncture. You know, like lateral to UB 55, they say, is good for back pain.
Lower back pain?
Low back pain, yeah. Okay, so I'm just trying to find out why and what's the relationship. Like, how come the Chinese say 40 and these guys say 55? I mean, yeah, it's a difference of 2 inches. You know, it's a big area. And they go lateral, they don't even go 55. And in fact, you can say, you know, then you can make up TCM explanations. Oh, it's between the bladder channel and the gallbladder channel, and you know, the gallbladder muscle channel goes to the sacrum. You know, and you can make a lot of stuff around it. You know, which is fine. You know, but it just, the more stuff you make around it that's yours, that comes from your own seeing the body and understanding the body, the better off you'll be. The more you'll see, eventually. Sorry. Yes.
This area between UB 55 and 59? does it
57.
Have, I'm sorry, 57, thank you. Does it have a name and does it have other uses?
It has no name.
Okay.
And you can say that you know, because I'm going from 57, you can say this one is Ihikon. And as you go up, it just changes. It becomes it becomes the head of the Ihikon. Okay, and then as it goes up, it becomes more I. It's I-Jong and Heiyang, which in Chinese is Feiyang and Weijong.
Since it's 5 and some people
Right,
might be
right, right.
dashing out, let me just, I don't want to interrupt too much, but I just want to say that the next seminar will be Sunday, February 24th.
So would you sit up and tell us how many years?
You're all kind of funny right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to talk to her first. Wanted to at least get the data. But it should be good.
Seems pretty good. Want me to walk on it?
Yeah, of course I want you to walk on it. No, it's a. Your knee is great as long as you're not moving.
Walk on it. Feels good
Yeah,
so far.
so far. You're welcome. Anything else you want to know or don't want to know? Yes.
Any quick tips for pain of the big toe?
Yes. As a matter of fact. Depending on exactly where, but because it's spleen and liver channel, you can check metal water. You know, usually spleen 9 does a good job. Liver 5, rather than metal water, does a good job. You know, gout pain, we say is liver 5 and spleen 9. Then, big toe belongs to liver 12. You will find something weird around liver 12. Stick a needle in, not towards the pubic bone and 90 degrees in. Does a good job for toe pain. By the way, if it's on the right side especially, if you have something happen to your big toe or something happen here disturbing the flow of the big toe, maybe liver or spleen channel don't work as well. So you may have other symptoms that relate to liver and spleen. So it's useful to at least.
What you're saying, if you've had something happen to it, it won't work as well to just use this channel.
No. Say you have a congestion in liver 12 area. Okay, something happened, you know, structurally or whatever. This is very tight. It disrupts the blood circulation, western circulation into the big toe. Meaning now it's going to disrupt eastern circulation of the liver channel or spleen channel, liver channel, spleen channel. And then the channel itself may not be as good, and you may start seeing symptoms of the spleen and liver channel that are not related to this. Make sense? So it's just a way of thinking. Yes?
In the 5-case diagnosis, spleen 3 stomach type, there's a line that I had a question about. Add stomach chi to treatment.
Okay. Whenever you decide if spleen 3.2 is a good point for you, remember we did stomach chi on her for me? stomach chi is a good addition. Just like I told you, if you have spleen points, you can add to pericardium points. If you use spleen 3.2, stomach chi is a good companion point for spleen 3.2. It's not as good, it's not as tightly related to say spleen 9. It's not as tightly related to spleen 7. Okay, it's tightly related to spleen 3.2. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Under the same spleen, Nagano's stomach 22.
That's that 45, that's OD sphincter point, same thing. Only exists on the right side. Because stomach 22 is called by... you can... Now, stomach 22 is called gate of weight. It's gate of gate. It's called guan men. Okay, guan is a gate and men is a gate, basically. One is more of a door and one is more of something else. It's the same thing. So, it's gate of gate. What's the gate of gate? The OD sphincter. Gallbladder and pancreas. Okay, so that's what it relates. Stomach chi is a complicated story, these bumps, okay? Between stomach 40 or stomach 38 or 39 and stomach 41, there are no points on the stomach channel. And don't you think it's a little weird? It's like stomach 36, stomach 38, stomach 39, stomach 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, and nothing after the leg. I mean, what is this? This Han Dynasty people didn't like the lower part of the leg? I mean, it doesn't make sense. So, there's something wrong with that, especially, by the way, stomach 36, of course, is a very important point. I never do stomach 36 to the day I die, okay? It's too much like going to school, but, that's just me. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. But, stomach 37 is lower head point of large intestine, right? Small intestine, large intestine, one of them, I don't know. And stomach 39 is lower head point of the small intestine. Yes, large intestine first. Okay. Then, it says that this constitutes it's like equivalent of the chong. It's the sea of blood, with UB11. They say these points with this is the ocean of blood. It's like something is obviously very important in the lower shin. Okay, and then they skip. Okay, it doesn't make sense. Why do they skip? Okay, so and then there's another concept that's related. So and then you have these bumps. But they're very close to the bone. I know a lot of people needle stomach 36 away from the bone. That's fine. But when you're looking for those bumps, you need to look close to the bone. Okay. Now, you have a certain pulse quality. You know how they talk about pulses? They say the pulse should have depth, it should have spirit, and it should have stomach chi. Correct? You've heard this. So, depth, we all know what it means. Okay. Spirit, well, hopefully we have a clue of what it means. You can say, well, the pulse is there, that it has spirit. It has a certain animation, basically. But stomach chi is a weird thing to understand. What does it mean that something has stomach chi? What Nagano said was stomach chi means that the pulse has a certain rollingness. It has a certain quality of surging forward with a certain, almost like a slippery type quality. But there's a certain rolling in it, that it's not jugged. That's stomach chi. Okay? So sometimes you have a pulse that you feel it under your hand, and all you're feeling is like a knife. Tick, tick, tick. Instead of guyuk, guyuk, guyuk. Okay? That's considered a stomach chi pulse. It's a pulse that's lacking stomach chi. It's just like that. Okay? That, he said, he related that to these points down here. Okay, those bumps. So they're not in a particular place. Okay? But it's like an extension of the sea of blood. Okay? So they're very, very important. You can also, some people, it has something to, stomach is, stomach chi, right? It has to do with being able to adjust. Like stomach, spleen is in the middle of all the seasons. So people may have seasonal allergies or have some adjustment problems. You can use stomach chi points. I use them as supporting points primarily. I very rarely use them as a main point. The only time I use it as a main point, like this is the point I must use it, is patella pain. Okay. Otherwise, it's extra help in stomach chi point. I also teach my patients, if they have those bumps, to massage and downwards, because the stomach channel goes down. You don't want to disrupt the stomach channel. You don't want to go against it, so you want to massage downwards. Answers your question?
Yes.
You're welcome. Enjoy your knee.
Enjoy my knee.
Your knee.
Your knee.
Get back to my step erosion.
And then blame me. Anything else? Anyone else? Yes.
I'm not really clear from your notes about low back pain, and it's a huge problem, so I just wanted to be clear. You have it in this area, L4, L5, S1 lumbar pain on page 19.
Mm-hmm.
You did talk about the gummy points on the sacroiliac. That's clear. You said if L4 is involved, use spleen 9.
Okay.
Upward. But you talked about
If
gallbladder
there's more than
39.
one lumbar, okay, wait. If there's more than one lumbar involved, okay, I guarantee you this is not an accident. Okay, I mean, they may feel it as a result of an accident, but they have an internal problem. Okay, more than one, and therefore it's either spleen or adrenal type. Okay, spleen would mean spleen 9. Spleen 9 does a good job for the lumbars. And adrenal, what happens, you see people that are lying down on their stomach, and you see really, really tight paravertebral muscles. That tends to be adrenal type or hormonal type. Okay, and now you want to ask a question? How did I interrupt you?
I'm just going through, I just want
Okay.
to make sure
Let
that
me-
I'm clear with some of the options here.
Okay, let me get to the notes so I can see it, what you're talking about, because I'm not sure I know. Page 19, right?
Right.
Oh, that's not it. This is extra handouts and way of going forward. Yeah, thank you. It's okay. If L4 involved, in other words, more than one vertebrae involved, use spleen 9. If it's one-sided, like you only have pain, you press on the wattos, and you only have pain on the right side, nothing on the left, it means the spine is shifted. Okay, that's what I told you. Use heart 3. Okay, and then you can also go gallbladder 26. Sometimes this is very good, and then you can use sacroiliac just one side. UB 27, 28 basically means sacroiliac.
Those are your bad three shows.
Yeah. Then tight paraspinals is treat adrenal, but sometimes it's not adrenal, sometimes it's a hormonal with women, and you can start with small intestine 13. Okay. Small intestine 13 should release the paraspinals. Okay. And that's pretty much. And then the thing is, if you have low back problem, okay, if you have L4, L5 problem, everything sort of is going to spill into here. So on the front, it will show either in the inguinal or in the inner thigh. Because, you're looking for a reflex of the back and front. I can palpate the back to some extent by going under. Okay, but if I can also find a reflex of the back on the front, like the inner thigh or the inguinal or GB26, and treat those, I'd rather do that. So it's just all I'm saying is it's another way to look at the back.
And then you also use gallbladder 38 superiorly.
Superiorly, I don't know about superiorly, but I use gallbladder 38.
Uh,
Yeah,
that's
it's another trick that's not in the notes. Yeah.
Right, and then you do 55.
Yes, exactly. And also, I can use UB11, for example, because it's the shoe point for the bones, right? It's a meeting point of bone, right? And it's called, the name is Great Shuttle, but they don't mean like a shuttle to the airport, okay? I don't think. They mean like, a shuttle, like you pass it back and forth like when you weave, okay? So it's kind of like the same structure as bones. The bones get woven, the way they're constructed, the bones, So UB11 is a good point for bones since the spine is kind of a bone. You can say it's a good point for spine. And sometimes C7T1 Watto will do because it's opposite ends of the back. Sometimes it will work. Also for L4, L5. So, you kind of have to get inventive around these things. There's no one protocol only. If somebody has sugar, I'll do T11, T12. Because sometimes you think it's the spine, but actually it's the muscles holding the spine, for example. How do you know? I don't know. I have no clue. But the other thing is T11, T12, and T5. These are really important areas to check on the back for everyone. T5 and T11, T12 are areas that affect the rest of the spine. T4, T5 will affect more of the neck. But T11, T12 will affect the whole spine. It's something to do with where the curvatures are more prominent or something. I think one is, where the kyphosis starts. I don't know, but it has something to do with the curves. So they have more ability to affect the rest of the spine.
I have a question. In Twin we learned that that the psoas tension is often a cause of like chronic, maybe low back pain, and like this patient probably received a lot of treatments, but never really helped, and the source of their back pain is psoas tension. Is there any way you can release that through acupuncture?
Inguinal ligaments.
Okay.
So if they're huge and falling over, you do stomach 13. Otherwise, you can do kidney 9.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's true. It's the reflection of back. I say it's a reflection of back because very few people say I'm complain of pain here. It's not normal. So you can use kidney 9. You can do immune point. You can do sometimes the source. It will show in liver 12 area. Liver 12 gets released relatively easily with liver 4. If not, then check each channel: kidney channel, liver channel, spleen channel. If it's liver channel, liver 4. Spleen channel, spleen 9. Kidney channel, kidney 7. It's all in the notes, by the way. Somewhere. But I know it's in the notes. I'm not sure if it's structural issues that affect the abdomen or if it's because it's not in the back pain. So it's probably in that section of it's called structural issues that affect the abdomen. But yeah, I always check this. It's the same thing that I said always check inner thigh, always check inguinal. It's the same thing as you're expressing a similar idea by saying it's psoas because the psoas is tight. It pulls the back.
Okay.
It creates this in the back. So it shifts the pelvis. That's all. So it's similar idea. Last chance.
Do you have any techniques for dealing with bone fusions of the spine?
Fusions of the spine. Where?
Anterior?
No, I mean, meaning they came in from the abdomen, but what level?
Could be anywhere on the spine. Could be cervical.
Cervical, okay. This is where, the toys work. $140 diode chain. Yeah, because of the fix. And TP7 wrapped with aluminum foil and zap the ear. Because it generates energy.